Hello, I am Nathan Torres, a fifth-year landscape architecture student from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. I'm currently in the conceptual phase of my senior project, developing an inclusive neighborhood for elderly citizens. I'm asking for advice and welcome any critiques that you may have.
First and foremost, why is such a neighborhood necessary? Looking at the total U.S. population and its projections, we are about to witness almost a doubling in the population over 65, with obvious consequences affecting healthcare infrastructure. Politicians in Sacramento are already having discussions on how best to address this problem. The driving focus of this project is to take the idea of a therapy garden and its elements, use them as guidelines for developing new streetscapes, and ultimately promote a better quality of life. Furthermore, design decisions will be made based on specific principles derived from a study that determined elements of the landscape that promoted longevity in places such as Japan, Italy, and even Loma Linda, California. This project seeks to experiment with these principles and develop a working case study. Looking at Los Angeles County and an overlay of the age distribution, we see that Torrance has some of the highest densities of those over 65. This block group adjacent to Sepulveda Boulevard has the most persons in this age group and will be the study area for the remainder of the project. There are only two types of residential zones within the study area: single-family and multifamily residential units. Barriers are defined here as any element that may inhibit ease of passage. Outlined in blue are actual pedestrian paths within the neighborhood. Outlined in red are elements such as physical walls and locations where sidewalks end. All streets, depending on crosswalk frequency and width, are potential barriers and are noted as well. Opportunity areas are broken into 4 different categories: leftover space, corners, existing parks, and schools. Using the city and streetscapes as the medium, 3 concepts using a city as function were developed for achieving specific goals of therapy and hospice gardens. The first concept is city as canvas, with the goals of promoting wayfinding, community interaction, and exercise. Some key elements of this concept are artful trellises or other structures, graphic paths, interactive art, street art, and wall canvases. The second concept is city as forest or garden, with the goals of promoting exercise, outdoor living, mental health, and community interaction. Some key elements of this concept are fruit trees or hedges, ecotones that mimic forest succession, habitat gardens, crack gardens, green walls, and produce plantings. The final concept is city as backyard, with the goals of promoting exercise, outdoor living, pride and ownership of the neighborhood, self-confidence, and of course, community interaction. Some key elements of this concept are overhead lights as streetlights, veggie gardens, dining areas, bird gardens or pollinator gardens, game courts, lounge areas, flower gardens, and DG paths or pavers instead of concrete. Using the 3 concepts, an initial pilot design is created and has 3 facets: 1 attractor, numerous thresholds, and new streetscape elements. 1 attractor space shall be placed at the center leftover space and begin by removing the wall bisecting the 2 neighborhoods and be designed as a linear gathering space that will connect Madrona Marsh at the north end and the local school at the south end of the neighborhood. To encourage walking within the community, key thresholds will be designed or property will be acquired to promote access to the adjacent commercial areas. Finally, this initial design prioritizes all corner intersections be raised to facilitate easy conveyance, benches or other resting elements be placed at every corner and at least midway down each street. Also, drawing people to the center gathering space will be a forest typology indicative of a vernal marsh and fading out towards a grassland typology. Further exploration of these ideas and concepts will determine best fit designs, appropriate networks, and proper placement of street elements. So I look forward to your critiques as I move further in design development. Thank you.